Okay, Ryan, it's actually kind of funny. You walked in the door and myself and Steven kind of introduced ourselves to you because you hopped onto the scene so late last year. We saw you debut as a Miami Marlin in Texas, and I want to go right to the final day of 2023 when you put together one heck of a start against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Do you guys use that one start to propel yourself into an offseason and into 2024? Or how do you look at what we all thought was an incredible last start? It was a lot of fun to watch.
For sure. I mean, anytime you can finish the year on a high note and then obviously, get to be on the postseason roster, just even get to be around those guys, it kind of puts a hunger in your stomach to get better. No, just when I got, went to Jacksonville and, kind of actually, I got out of the PCL. PCL is tough league to pitch in and kind of work on things. Got to the International League and, my pitches actually moved how they were supposed to move and truly got to just sit and pitch and figure more about what I do and what my goal is every time I go out there. And obviously getting to work with, Scott and then getting to work with Mel. Mel's awesome. And then obviously I love Skip. I've been around Skip since 2021. I'd run through a brick wall for Skip. So, yeah, just something like that just kind of propels you just hey, I can, do this. How consistent now can we do it?
Ryan, how do you approach an off season where that, Sandy is getting Tommy John or has already gotten Tommy John? You're going to have an opportunity here in the starting rotation to compete. Do you try not to, you almost don't want to squeeze it too much? Or, what's sort of your mental approach going into, an important year in 2024 where you've got some opportunities?
I mean, we have, obviously it hurts missing Sandy. That's your horse. We have 7-8 other guys that can, sling the rock. So it's just, going into spring, it's how can we help each other? As a starting pitching staff, it's more than just 5 guys, 6 guys. So just whatever, I go into spring, I could be out of the bullpen, I could be starting. Just, I kind of want to do whatever just to help the team win. And whatever, facet it is. I've kind of, pitched kind of in every scenario in my career so far. So, yeah, go into spring, just try to go win a job. And, if it doesn't work, you just got to keep working just to wait for your name to get called and, go to work.
I think your story's interesting. And I don't know if it's unique and it's obviously never happened before. 7th overall pick. The stories I read about Ryan Weathers, Padres brought him up too early. He wasn't ready. And you get brought up in the postseason. And the narrative is going to be a top overall pick, hasn't yet put it together in the big leagues. Does that frustrate you? Where are you at in your career?
You're also 24.
Yeah, it's crazy. But dude, that's interesting. People are going to say, oh, he might be a bust. He's never put it together, brought up too early. Where are you at in your career? How do you feel about moving forward, I guess, if that makes sense?
I mean, obviously, then you start to kind of ask yourself questions. It's kind of I don't know, am I doing my job up here? Am I cut out for this? Did I get rushed early? But then you go back and look, as a 20-year-old or a 20-year-old, debuting in the postseason,
it's crazy, dude.
Going in against the Dodgers when they were obviously they're still really good, but they were the Dodgers. World Series, I'm facing when Bellinger was MVP the year before. And then my 21-year-old year, I say that, and then I look and I didn't start pitching bad until August.
Right.
And it's you are cut out for it. Obviously, 22 is kind of a little stumbling block. But any pitcher that pitches in the PCL, obviously, if they ever hear this, it's the hardest league I've ever had to pitch in.
Should have been a hitter, dude. What are you doing pitching?
So, yeah, I mean, it's just the biggest thing that, I'm happy I went through a lot of that stuff, to be honest with you. Now that I sit back, a year and a half, 2 years of it, it sucked. I mean, it was brutal, hearing everything, hearing all the noise and, truly being able to block out the noise and, I am cut out for this. I am made for this. Somebody like the Marlins taking a chance on me and trading for me. And, yeah, I'm just excited, man. It kind of just getting traded to the Marlins, man. It put a different hunger in my stomach.
Fresh start.
Yeah, it's just a fresh slate and
familiar face with Skip.
Yeah, just go out there and just pitch like you know how to pitch.
What's the off season look like for you?
This year I live in Florence, Alabama, so where Brax is from, that's where I live actually now.
Nice.
I have
the mayor of the town. You the mayor or is he the mayor?
No, he's the mayor. That's it. That's his town. I'm from Tennessee. That's his town. But no, I have a little in-home gym just where I've had an in-home gym for about 3 years, just where I can take care of it. But a lot of running. I have a track man. I just got a track man this off season, so it's been fun this off season. The first off season, having a tool to use where I can actually develop things and work on pitches. And, man, I feel like my stuff's in a different spot than it's ever been. And I'm just excited to pitch and get to Jupiter and just go work. And it's just having that TrackMan, man, it's made my development, I feel like it's soared.
Is the stuff in a different spot because of Mel Stottlemyre Jr.? Listen, this guy's the whisperer. It feels like there's been years I feel like I might report with the pitchers and catchers the way people talk about this guy. But people talk so highly about Mel and what he's been able to do. Not even like a project, but like, we got this guy, Ryan Weathers. He's young, man. Like, what has Mel done for you?
Man, he helps you so much mentally. I mean, when you're out there on a mound, I mean, you're truly on an island. I mean, they cut the grass out right around where the pitcher's supposed to pitch. And so, like, when you're out there, I mean, you're just having to think the whole time. And when you're on an island, things are going bad, you're out there. If things are going good, you're out there. I mean, You're king of the hill.
Lonely.
And he has taken my changeup to a different level. And that's kind of the pitch that's always like, I've always had a good slider. I've always had my fastball usage in 21 was 70%. And then, last year was, 55%. So slowly kind of backing off it. But yeah, I've always thrown a four-seamer. I've never thrown a two-seamer. So kind of mixing in two-seamers now. Like get some good separation off the four-seamer. And then the changeup right now, it's in a spot it's never been. And
so your arsenal features a four-seamer, two-seamer, slider, changeup.
And then so I got the sweeper, then I'm working on a little bit of like a little bullet slider cutter type deal.
That makes two of us. That's good.
So
that's good to hear.
Just to kind of, you got the, sweeper, like the numbers look sexy on it. And like my sweeper, analytics wise is, a really good pitch, but it's like, I throw 95, 96, and then I'm throwing a sweeper at 78. Like I gotta have that velo kind of in the middle ground, like trying to, especially to right-handed hitters, and just to kind of something to bury on the hands and kind of just get them off my best pitch, which is my fastball, just where I can use it more effectively.
How important are analytics to you? Obviously, he's teaching us everything with the percentages. Why is that important for you?
I think like analytics, like they have like a good place in the game of baseball. I think like when you get to the big league level, there has to be a good blend of like analytics and old school. Because when you get out there, your job is throw up zeros and get outs. Care less what your FIP is. I don't care what your ERA is. Your job is to get outs and put wins on the board. But I think analytics, like it's good seeing your percentages. It's good seeing what other hitters, like what they're featuring, where are they hot right now, where are they not hot. And then obviously, like just from a pitching standpoint, with San Diego, like they were very heavy analytics. Like all the numbers, I understand all the numbers really well and kind of understand what I'm looking for. And every year a number kind of switches at what I'm looking for. So yeah, my numbers tilt. If my tilt's good, then we're ready to rock and roll.
Some of the, we'll wrap this up in a couple of minutes here, but some of the best pitchers that have ever played the game, they say they controlled the game. And while controlling the game, they try to get to a place on the mound where they're not thinking too much, but they know what they want to do every pitch with conviction. How do you get to a place, if you have, and I have no idea, I don't even know if you can explain this, where you feel like you're in control of the game, but your mind is not racing out there before every pitch? Like, just how do you just calm yourself down and control the game?
So when I first got brought up, like I'd always had kind of, I got labeled as a slow heartbeat. And, just felt very controlled out there. And then I kind of went to that rough patch, and it kind of was like, okay, now I'm out here searching. I'm pitching, searching for what I'm trying to do. And it was for real. When I got to Jacksonville, and there was like a switch flipped. And I felt back to like, it didn't have to be like man on second, nobody out. Okay, I have to assume he's scoring. I got to get this guy. Then it turned into that dude's not scoring. Like, he's not scoring. And I think, like, I got to Jacksonville, saw the swing and miss come back. I was always a high punch-out guy. Like, when I got drafted, even my first, year, I'm punch-outs to innings. 2021, I'm 8 punch-outs under innings in the big leagues in my first year. And then, 2022 kind of took a hit with kind of my punch-out numbers and had way more walks than I was ever used to having. And, yeah, getting to Jacksonville, man, I think it, I'm hoping it kind of changed my career.
That's interesting.
What excites you the most about this year?
Shoot, just getting to play baseball, man. It's the best game on the earth, and, I'm blessed every day I get to wake up and play it. But there's just a different aura about playing here in Miami, and I'm really excited to play here.
My last one for you, and I know you've obviously been asked this a lot over the years. It's a very interesting time in the game because there's a lot of second-generation players. Your dad, David, was incredible. Does Dad David let son Ryan do his thing? Do you seek a ton of advice from him? I'm very fascinated by that. So many former big leaguers that just let their sons do their thing. You create your own path, dude. You do this the way you want to do it.
For sure. I mean, I think there's like, I still call him after every game just to, because I know he watches every game, just to see like, hey, do you think that pitch selection and that, at bat was right?
So you dive into that stuff with him.
Yeah, so I'm like big into like watching video. Me and him both watch video.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I'll give him whatever internal system we have, and like we'll sit there and like we'll FaceTime and watch it. Just because I think like pitch selection's a big. I feel like I have the stuff to do really well, but it's like, I'm putting myself 1-2. Like, why am I going for a kill pitch? Auto breaking ball when like I could just expose him at the top of the zone. So just stuff like that. But like he was sinker slider from the right side, and I'm more four seam change up, like kind of bigger breaking ball. So like from Arsenal standpoint, like I'll talk to him about his sinker just because he had a good sinker. But like I'm trying to throw more of a runner than a sinker. Like he was a sinker, and then
yeah.
And so I don't want to take away from my changeup. So like I'm looking for more of a runner, and so just stuff like that. Like now I've got him into a TrackMan. I mean, he was truly a dinosaur before I got the TrackMan. So like when I got the TrackMan, like I have him a little note sheet of like what all the numbers mean, and then his lingo.
That's funny.
It'll be like induced vertical. That thing's carrying. That's
like
what it'll
homework,
like.
Man, you're going back to school doing homework for Dad.
But no, just having him, man, it's a true blessing just to have him and be able to, bounce ideas off of him. And then obviously Mel Stoudemire, so Mel's dad was my dad's pitching coach.
It's amazing, man.
So just having that little camaraderie and just that, already respect for Mel, and I think that's why it's so much fun working with Mel, is that just that mutual respect for each other.
Making a point, and then a last question. You're going to have a long career, but when it's all said and done, this guy's got to get into a booth and be an analyst.
You know what you're talking about.
Holy buckets.
It's funny. I think he knows what he's talking about when he's doing
No,
this.
I mean, but he's breaking it down where someone like me can understand the whole thing. What do you do in your off season, man? You play pickleball.
Pickleball is fun, man.
Give us something.
I'm a big golfer. Like I'm probably like I'm usually like I'd give myself 72. I'll probably be a 12 handicap. I'm probably 84, 85 range consistently. But like I
swing
just
from the left side. You swing lefty.
No, I'm righty.
Really?
So throwing and shooting basketball are the only two things I do left-handed. So everything else I'm right-handed. But
you play on the road during the season? Do you try to golf?
I try my best to, especially like when I'm starting and know my schedule. Like I have a pretty good set routine. Yeah, some of these places, man, there's a lot of fun golf. But play golf. Used to. My wife played volleyball at UF, so we go to a lot of volleyball stuff. And then we spend a lot of our time at a basketball gym. My youngest sister is a junior in high school at the school I went to, so we go watch her a lot. And then my oldest of the two younger sisters, she plays basketball at the University of Alabama.
Wow.
So we're at Alabama a lot. Die-hard Bama fans. Go to a lot of Bama football games. Go to some Titans games. Usually any sporting event.
All right, break down the coaching change.
Yeah,
Saban out, DeBoer in.
Let me tell you.
You going to be up in arms if they're 9-3 next year?
I didn't eat for a day when I saw that Saban retired. But no, it was,
many others.
It was, I'm excited. It's like it's just like anything. It's like a new era.
Yeah.
Like I'm just excited. Like, everybody thinks that we're reloading, and like I feel like we're or rebuilding. I feel like we're just reloading. I mean, DeBoer's a good head coach. I mean, with Nick Saban leaving, that dude had to handpick somebody to take over that job. So, like, everybody knowing that, I don't know why everybody's kind of stressed out about it. It's like if Nick Saban handpicked somebody, then there's something in that person that he likes.
All right, so starting in July or August this year, we're going to get a sponsor. We're going to do a weekly Alabama.
Yes.
We're going to preview every Saturday in the fall, starting at the end of August.
If it's a loss, though, you can't have me.
All right, yeah. Ryan, it's good to see you, man. Thank you, and we'll chat with you.
Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate y'all. Thank you.